What's up, guys?
Yeah.
It's Kelsey and Aaron, and today, coming at you from the beach. And today, just the purpose of this video pretty much is just to share some of our favorite people that encourage us, some of our favorite podcasts, some of our favorite YouTubers, some of our favorite pastors, just things that influence us and encourage us on a daily basis. We thought we would share them with you guys.
Yeah, I just think it's such a great plan to just try to continue to keep on growing as far as growing your faith, growing in different things that you're doing throughout your daily life or whatever there is. But most of these people will be faith-based that we're mentioning here because, I just feel like growing spiritually is the biggest deal to me in life, I believe, and it just inspires me to believe bigger and just to even go deeper with God,
Deeper.
So the first person that we'll mention, let's talk about Shawn Bolz.
Shawn Bolz.
Okay, listen, guys. He is a prophetic pastor, actually. And he's out in Los Angeles, California. But anyways, he has a YouTube. He has a podcast. Anything else he has?
Probably. We just might not know about it.
Yeah, and I think he has a church out in L.A. as well. But, man, he has just been such an encouragement to me and Kelsey in this season of our lives. He is just watching him has really just encouraged us to believe for bigger from God, believe for more intimacy from God, and with God, and to learn how to walk out in the prophetic anointing with God, and so it's just been such a huge encouragement just to hear some of his stories that he tells on his podcast. And on his YouTube and stuff like that. He gets people from all over the world coming on his podcast. He has a great YouTube channel that really makes the prophetic simple and not really weird, And so it's just such a blessing for him to have done that. And it's so many videos. It's enough to keep you watching for days. And they're just so encouraging to hear those awesome stories of times where God has really spoken into his life or used him to speak into the lives of others. So that made me in turn start praying and hey, God, speak to me in my dreams, speak to me in with other people that I come across in the streets, wherever it is, speak to me, and because I know you want to use me to make an impact for your kingdom.
Yeah, and like you said, I think he does do a really good job at making sure it's not weird, because I think, honestly, I want to say before I watched Shawn Bolz, I felt like prophecy was something only certain people really were gifted with, or certain people could really do, and so I think it just makes it an average, this can be your everyday life kind of thing, and the purpose behind it is to encourage people.
Yeah, and the Bible also says, that we should all desire the gift of prophecy, that we should all desire to prophesy, because prophecy, it just edifies people, it lifts, it builds them up, it strengthens them, it can change their life and be going one way one day, and then the next day when you say something that encourages them or whatever, it could change at an instant, because that person is wow, God sees me. This person just said something to me that nobody else would have a clue about, and that just kind of really just breaks through a lot of different barriers, and so it's just an amazing thing to watch him. Another person that we really like to watch is some of his videos, and one in particular I think is Bob Jones. He was Shawn Bolz's mentor, and he prophesied so many different just movements and church movements and stuff into existence, in a sense. The Lord really used him to just really encourage these pastors and preachers, just for what God was doing in their lives and to help keep them going, And so Bob Jones is really great. One video that we really like to watch is called the Bob Jones Celebration, and it's actually at his funeral, but all these people, these well-known pastors, like the pastor from Bethel, the pastor from the International House of Prayer, IHOP.
Not the food.
Yeah. They all come and they are telling their stories about how God spoke to Bob through dreams about them, or God just used Bob to impact their lives. And it's such an amazing, encouraging thing to do, because it just helps you to believe for more. It's wow, I'm believing for more right now. I'm going to start believing and asking God to speak to me for more.
Sorry, there's a bug. Still there. Trying to protect my mans. Anyway. No, I think Bob Jones he just has so many great stories, people who tell. I love, like you said, listening to the stories that other people have about him. It's just so encouraging, and it just shows you how in tune with God you really can be, which I think is so awesome. Who doesn't want that? So I really do like stories about Bob Jones.
Yeah, the Bible says, knock and I'll answer, seek and you'll find, and so I am all about that, because at the end of the day, I just want God to use my life in the fullest capacity as possible. Like, I don't want to miss out on anything that God has for me, because I know that there's people that will be benefiting from my blessings. People will be benefiting from my obedience. Think about whatever church it is that you go to, and that pastor was obedient to the call on his life, and that has ended up changing so many lives. So next we'll move on to a pastor that we really love. How about the pastor of FavorNation, Adrian Woodard? That is actually my uncle, and he pastors a church here in Chesapeake, Virginia. It's called FavorNation Church, and that church is just so awesome, because you walk in there and this just feels like family. It feels like a home. It feels like just people. It feels like a judgment-free zone where God can change people, and people aren't trying to change the people. People are there loving on each other, just trying to make a difference in the kingdom, and God is really just working through Pastor Adrian, because he is just moving, and he's brought so many people through Pastor Adrian, just to know his love and to experience his grace and goodness. You just never know, how your obedience affects other people. So, yeah. So if you're in the Virginia Beach, if you're in the Virginia Beach / Chesapeake area, come on out to FavorNation Church. Yeah. Every Sunday morning at 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
And on Facebook at 10 a.m.
Right now.
Facebook Live, 10 a.m. Sundays.
I really do love FavorNation, because honestly, I just feel like every Sunday there's just such a good message from whoever's preaching, like your mommy. Shout out to you.
Don't talk about my mommy.
You can be quiet.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, I just feel like they always just have really great messages, and they're interesting to listen to. It's not like, when I was a kid and I used to be in church and stuff, and I would be sitting there like, when is this over? It's so boring. You know what I mean? But it's just not like that at FavorNation, so shout out to y'all.
Yeah. Another pastor that I haven't been listening to a whole bunch, but I love to still, because at one point in my life I would listen to him a lot. But his name is Lentz. He is the pastor of Hillsong New York, and that church is just awesome too, because they are just going for the just for people that seem like they're left out and outcast, and that the church in the old days was not accepting, and so Lentz is all about that, all about showing the love of God, and he has YouTube podcast and all that kind of stuff as well. I don't know if he has a podcast, but anyways, but it's Hillsong New York, Lentz. And want to move on?
Moving on
to Judah Smith.
Judah
Smith is also a good friend of Lentz, and they kind of have a similar. Judah Smith really, both of them really know the Bible and the Word, but Judah Smith is really great at telling stories.
He's funny.
He is funny, and so is Lentz. I love hearing their stories, though. I love hearing Judah Smith's stories, and he just has an amazing testimony about how God has kept him from an early age, and just he's really just.
It hit my face. Anyways,
we're gonna be like those news people that have those instances.
A big wave just comes up.
Yeah. But anyway, so Judah Smith, Lentz, both great pastors to listen to if you want to listen and hear a good story about the grace of God, and just also feel like just learn. Who else?
Stephen
Furtick. You want to talk about him?
Stephen Furtick is just really down to earth to me, and he's really funny. And I just feel like he also is a pastor that makes things super simple, and just kind of, I feel like he just kind of says stuff how it is. I feel like sometimes he says stuff you don't necessarily want to hear, but it's like you need to hear it kind of thing. I don't know. I just like him a lot.
Yeah, Stephen Furtick is a great pastor. I agree with all the things. He just makes the word simple, and just, man, the Lord has just really used him to tell some great stories eloquently. And another pastor is, he's not really a pastor, but he's a teacher, and he's one of my favorites as well, is Andrew Wommack. Now, if you are in need of healing, if you're in need of just trying to hear from the Holy Spirit, trying to hear from God and that kind of thing, he makes the word so simple, because of his own knowledge of the word. It's mind-blowing in a sense, because he'd be quoting scriptures just firing them off, and it's like
an encyclopedia.
Yeah.
So scripture.
Yeah, and so he really knows the word, and he has lots of years of experience and lots of years of seeing people healed. His son actually was dead and then got raised from the dead. Just cool stuff like that. That is just wow, man.
He has a ton of stuff.
Yeah, too. Yeah, a ton of experiences like that. You. But just things that man, just cause you to expand your faith and believe God for more.
And he's got YouTube. Does he have a podcast?
Yeah, he does.
He's got
I
a
like to listen to his podcast
He's
a lot.
got, really, you could just Google Andrew Wommack, and he has his website is like Andrew Wommack Ministries, and he has a bunch of videos on there, and also all of his stuff is free.
Yeah.
So you can literally get any of his DVDs or any of his like materials for free. So that's really cool. Shout out to my mama for putting us on to Andrew Wommack.
Shout out to Jan. Thank you, Jan. Who else we got? We got the Bible Project. Okay, now the Bible Project is one of my favorites. This is one of the newest finds I feel like that I've found. It's just like so cool because they have a YouTube channel, they got a podcast, but on their YouTube channel especially was what caught me and Kelsey's attention. It was like they have pictured stories and videos of like they actually animated videos of the Bible, and they break it down so good. Both of them are like Bible scholars, and they're
so smart and they know so much about it, but they make it simple for everybody watching.
Yes. It's so cool. And so they have a podcast. Their podcast does the same thing. They're really interactive with their audience in their podcast and like answer questions and all that kind of stuff. And it's just such a blessing because, like I said, it just makes it so simple. They actually break down every book of the Bible,
which is super helpful because, especially for me, because I feel like something I've always struggled with when reading the Bible is not knowing who the author was or not knowing the context of the situation. And I feel like those are all important things to know. And they just break that down so simply. And the videos tend to be really short, just like straight to the point. So if you're not into like watching super long videos or something, at least go check it out and be like, I'm gonna give it a try, because I don't think you'll regret it, because honestly it just makes things so plain and simple.
Alright, so another one of my favorite influences is Matthew Barnett. He has a huge outreach and a church out in Los Angeles, California, and what he kind of specializes in is his church or outreach is called the Dream Center, the LA Dream Center, and they really just take in ex-prostitutes, ex-pimps, ex-drugs dealers, all that kind of stuff. He's just really inspiring to me because, I mean, they had to believe for a huge... They put all these people... They have a hospital, basically, an abandoned hospital that they bought for, like, millions of dollars. And they had to believe God to do that and for God to use him in that way. And, I mean, that ministry is just impacting so many people these days. And it's
awesome what they do.
Yeah, it really is. So, anyways, guys...
It's raining.
Yeah, it is raining. We're getting ready to get out of here. But those are some of our main influences. As far as music goes, Elevation Worship just put out a new album, which is pretty good.
Riley Clemens.
Fighting
Clemens. For Me. Piano version, y'all.
Yeah.
Piano version.
And then what do we like? Father's House?
Father's House by Corey Asbury.
Yeah, Corey Asbury.
Two YouTubers that I really like that are both Christian women. And they don't always do just solely like faith related videos, but they do have some. So Milena Ciciotti and Kristin Johns. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, Milena is she's married and has like a baby and stuff like that.
And one on the way. So she has a lot of parenting videos as well. So I think that's really great for any moms out there, people that are thinking about having kids soon or anything like that. She has a lot of good information, and she does have faith related videos. And then Kristin Johns, she's also married. They don't have any kids. She does a lot of other videos, a lot of cooking videos too, if you're interested in that. But she's also a Christian, and she does have some. So those are two people I actually really like to watch on YouTube, as a side note.
And Milena, I mean, it's awesome to see her stuff because her and her husband have a podcast together, and they're just encouraging. And they're just encouraging, and they have, you know, they just really just help people to realize their issues and stuff are normal in a sense, and they kind of let you know how they're going and dealing with things in their relationship. So that's always encouraging.
Their podcast is called As For Me in My House.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, we gotta go because it's raining.
Yeah. All right, guys, we love you. We hope this encourages you to keep on going, keep on growing in the Lord, and like just be inspired. These are the people that inspire us and encourage us to grow our faith and just to go deeper with God, you know, and to really let Him use us. So.
Yeah, I just had a raindrop hit my eye.
Yeah, we got to get out of here.
All right, guys.
Love you.